To my Scorpio Suns and Pisces Moon family. Happy Scorpio season. I know I haven't really been posting. I don't really know what to post lately. This year has been a bit of a blur. This year has been a pretty shitty year. I'm going to blame it on this year being a 5-year, which is a very in-between number in numerology. It's neither one or the other. It's a push and pull. It's kind of like a tug of war between head and heart. You're not really even making decisions. You're probably avoiding things. It's just very slow moving. Decisions aren't made. You don't know because you don't know what to think and you don't know how you feel. Things aren't kind of happening. It's very stagnant, you could say. But how are you guys going? I really genuinely want to know how everybody else is going. I feel like with this whole pandemic, I haven't been around people and I have no idea. I feel a bit out of touch. How are you guys coping? If you have any ways of kind of dealing with the shit that's going on in this world, please share. I really welcome any method that you guys are doing that's working. I wanted to do a quick post and I didn't really know what to say besides happy birthday, but what's been going through my mind of late to really summarize this, I talk about chaos quite a bit and I talk about Scorpios being a pendulum quite a bit. So a pendulum swinging back from one end to the other, right? That's a pendulum. If you attach another pendulum to this pendulum, it becomes a double pendulum. A double pendulum is aka chaos. This is a chaos pendulum. This little dude trying to balance on this little thing, which let's just call this life, and this little dude is me or you or us. Trying to balance and stay afloat on life. The two balls that he's weighing and seesawing and going backwards and forwards with, that he's weighing up on his scales, etc., is whatever dichotomy, whatever polarity that you want to put there. It could be head and heart. That's my inner conflict, right? It could be Scorpio Sun, Pisces Moon. Could be feelings and thinking. Could be anything. Whatever you want to put in there. But as you know, I always talk about my personal inner conflict with Pisces Moon and versus Scorpio Sun. It's kind of like head versus heart. Scorpio being head, Pisces being heart, right? Biggest battle of all time. And I'm always constantly, I'm like, so old now and I still haven't resolved this shit. And I'm always trying to balance and stuff. And we always talk about, trying to find peace with it. And I was looking at this pendulum thinking, is there ever a point of stillness or a point of calm? Like, will he stop moving? And the more I thought about it, the next thought that kind of popped into my head was, singularity. If it really, the planet's moving, Earth is rotating, it's orbiting, everything around us is constantly moving. But we think about gravity, etc. There's, the vortex, double helix, etc. We don't ever actually stay still. And if we're actually really still, then you consider that as the point of singularity, that we're dead. So technically, we're always constantly moving, right? So really, I need to come to terms with, this is me in life, and this is what life looks like. And I can't deny that's legit. That's my life, and that's probably your life if you're a Scorpio Sun Pisces Moon. That there will be no point of calm, and there's no point trying to get that balance, because the whole thing about that quote, it's all about trying to get that equilibrium, that perfect point of whatever, right? It's not possible. So when I'm thinking about it, going, how do I control this and manage this a little bit better? Because sometimes, sometimes I'm too much in my head, too much in my heart, and then it goes haywire when, if you focus too much in your head, then you neglect your heart stuff, and then until it kind of like erupts, and then it just gets out of control, and then it just looks messy, and it's a bit of a nuisance, and it gets harder, and it's rough, and it's just tiring, and I'm just exhausted by this shit, right? And trying to manage this stuff. I wish I could control it and manage it a little bit better, so I can, know when shit's happening. I can accept that shit's gonna go down however way it's gonna go, but if I'm more aware of it, then it gives me more control in terms of management, right? But I can never, I know this, and I can never kind of figure it out. Like, do I dedicate some time to heart matters? Like, where is that point where it's okay? Because it keeps changing, because as we know, chaos is aka random, right? Hence the double pendulum thing. It's nature. Nature's not predictable. It's not science. If everything was all about science, that we would be able to predict things like the weather. But we can't, because nature is chaotic and it's complex, which is hence this, right? What we are. So I was thinking, how's this going to work? Like, how are we going to do this, right? And when I think about head and heart, images of one and the other kind of pop in my head. It's really a dance between the other, and we talk about yin and yang.
Say we draw a square as representing fundamentally the idea of class. I can't have a square which doesn't have both inside and outside. They go together. And in Buddhism, this going together is called shunya. Although this is often translated void, it means that the inside of the square cannot exist, is void without the outside, the subject without the object, the black without the white. And this, of course, is represented in this fundamental Chinese figure of the yang, or the positive principle, and the yin, or the negative principle, like two fishes, constantly circulating, going round and round and round and round in the alternations of life. Now, the question is, are these two fishes involved in a fight? Is the white one eating up the black one, and the black one trying to eat up the white one? If that is the situation, then, of course, life is fundamentally nothing but a grim contest. If this one up here is the good fellow, and this one is the bad fellow, if this is order and this is chaos, then a fight goes on between them. But what happens if the white fish succeeds in eating up the dark fish? The white fish disappears as well as the dark one, because the white one is only there in relation to the dark. Life is not really a contest to make yes triumph over no, to make the positive triumph over the negative. The two sides go together. And then one sees, in this strange way, that underlying all that is negative in the world, all that is in a way painful and evil, there is a kind of necessity to it. It goes with the good. It is necessary for the good. Disorder is necessary for the manifestation of order, just as you must have, say, a black background to show up a light figure. Instead of looking upon life as a contest, it becomes a dance, it becomes a game. One doesn't withdraw from it, one doesn't stop living, but one goes into the game so that these revolving fishes are no longer trying to eat each other, but they're just going around dancing, having the biggest fun in the world. They're just going around dancing, having the biggest fun in the world.
They don't exist without each other, they have to coexist. Like the whole concept of yin and yang, right? They're relative to each other. Because they're relative to each other, then it's kind of a dance. So the question is the dance between the two. And I've mentioned this before. And how do I come to grip, what do I do with this information, right? So in my head I was just like, oh god, it's like a dance, but how do we figure out this dance it's doing, because we can't predict it, we can't prepare for it, right? So what's the how? So what do we do? Anyway, and then I was starting to think about dances, because ideally we want it to be like the waltz, where it's beautiful, elegant, kind of boring, as opposed to, you know, this whole contemporary thing, like this dance.
Do you dare to look me right in the eye? Oh, 'cause they will run you down to the floor. They run you down to the floor. And they will run you down to the floor. Yeah, till you can't grow no more. And where down we
Right. So essentially we just kind of have to dance with it. But if we kind of change our mindset and say, hey, we have no idea what to do, but let's just go along with it and dance through it. And consider it, this whole thing as a dance. If we change that perspective, because hey, Scorpio Sun, Pisces Moon is like, the more Scorpio wants more information because it needs to understand. The more information we get, it's like, you know, ignorance is bliss, right? So the more information, the more we know, it's like devastation. As a, you know, as opposed to Pisces Moon, which is hope. And that's Scorpio Sun, Pisces Moon together, devastation / hope. That very fine line in between. True story. This is what we do, and this is where we kind of hang out between one and the other, right? We can't stop, you know, growing in terms of knowledge and understanding and knowing things. Knowing that if the more we know, we actually really need to let go of understanding, and we know this, right? But we can't help it, we just kind of ride that. And because the more we know, the more devastating shit is, because the more knowledge we have, the more truth there is, and the truth is ugly, right? And then to go along with that, we have Pisces Moon, which, to make that okay, we come up with things to justify things, because that's what Pisces Moon is good at. Like my whole life, like as far as I can remember, when I first understood things about the world, or tried to understand things, I questioned, why are there, you know, this is perfectly good person, why is their life so tragic? Why do bad things happen to good people? Like how do you accept, like how do you come to terms with like that? And my Pisces Moon goes, hey, that's enough devastation. We're going to make this work. So you zoom out and go, you know, there's karma, right? If there's good, there's bad is good. There's always one and the other. We're just not looking at it in the right perspective. So let's zoom out a bit. If it's, this person might be unlucky, but if you look at the wider, like the collective, there's someone getting good things and makes it equal, makes it all balanced again. And you know, when you realise that the whole collective is kind of like not so cool, you zoom out again and you look at it in a planet perspective. You just kind of keep, like Pisces Moon kind of likes to zoom out to make it work, because we just need a little bit of hope, a little bit of belief, just to keep going. We don't need to justify things. It might not make sense, and that's why they say Pisces Moon wears rose-coloured glasses, we're a bit delusional, etc. Yeah, we kind of are, because if you're comparing what delusion is, right, compared to what makes sense and logical, that's a Scorpio thing, because Scorpio likes conscious reasoning, it likes logical thinking and reasoning, it likes things to make sense. Pisces Moon is about intuition, it's about knowing something is so without the need for conscious reasoning. So it may not make sense, it's nonsense, but you just need to believe it, and that little tiny bit of belief is equivalent. You can't, you can't compare the two. So saying from our logical perspective, from Scorpio perspective, looking at Pisces Moon, yeah, it's delusional, and of course it's wearing rose-colored glasses. Of course, right? So in saying that, I'm going to leave you guys with a video, kind of a song that I found, that kind of like describes everything that I'm feeling at the moment. And I think it kind of describes Scorpio Sun Pisces Moon really well. And to wrap it all up, I think there's wisdom in this video, and credit goes to the singer in this video and this channel who provided me with such an amazing video. And there is beauty in chaos, and that's the perspective we've got to take. Because I'm sick of this devastation. Scorpio needs to relax. Anyway, happy birthday, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know. Comment. Let me know how you're going. Like, seriously, how you guys tracking? Share your methods of coping.
Questions that I don't know the answers to. I don't know who to ask. Even Mr. Google's like, bruh, you need to figure this out on your own. On my own, yeah, on your own. Am I really alone, all alone? I'm alone. I don't know if I'm doing it right, doing it wrong. Is there something wrong with this way I'm moving on? What's going on? Wish I could have poised like James Bond, and I can't even breathe. Right, I'm gonna be strong. Hold your head up high and see if you can figure it out on your own. On my own, yeah, on your own. Am I really alone, all alone? I'm alone. I don't know if I'm doing it right, doing it wrong. Is there something wrong with this way I'm moving on? What's going on? Are you alright? It's to fine, but I'm dead in real life. But I'm dead in real life, in real life. Doing it right, doing it wrong. Is there something wrong with this way I'm moving on? What's going on? Are you alright? It's to fine, but I'm dead in real life. So I guess I'll just dance. So I guess I'll just dance. So I guess I'll just dance. I'll just dance. I'll just dance, dance, dance. I'll just dance. Hell yeah. Oh, I'll just dance.
If you've made it up to this point, please leave a comment to let me know that you've you made it to the end. Thank you so much. I love and appreciate you. For all Scorpio Sun Pisces Moon people out there, remember to stay strong and don't forget to believe. And if you're having a shitty day and things don't seem to be working out for you, remember that there's somebody out there by the name of Thao that gets you and believes in every single thing about you, that believes in all that you are, in and out. Stay strong, stay true. Take care.